Hey guys, so today I wanted to share 3 tips for when you are looking at nutrition labels if you're trying to make choices that are a little bit healthier. I know when I first started to learn more about healthier eating, prior to that, I had a lot of misconceptions and I thought that things like lean cuisines and diet soda, and if it had only so many calories, or if it said fat free or things like that was my idea of healthy. And I kind of learned that that's not necessarily the case for a lot of those things, actually. So I wanted to share a few things that I've kind of learned over the last few years that have helped me when I now go to look at nutrition labels. So the first thing is I try to find things that have 10 ingredients or fewer listed on the ingredient list. The fewer the better. Usually the things listed at the beginning are going to be the most prominent things in that item. And so 10 or fewer, and you want it to be things that you can pronounce. So if you see words on there that you don't know how to pronounce, it's probably a good chance that's a preservative, or it could be something that's like artificial ingredient, things like that. So look for words you can pronounce, 10 or fewer. There's going to be wiggle room, right? Not everything's going to fit that exactly, but if you can do that more times than not, then that's just a good rule of thumb to follow. The next thing that I like to look for is in regards to sugar. This was something that I never considered before I actually started learning more about this, because yes, while things like yogurt are great for us, if you get the like the fruit flavored yogurt, that can have upwards of like 18 to 25 grams of sugar per serving, which isn't just coming from the fruit, like it's added sugar. And so when you see sugar listed in the ingredient, that means it's been added in, and it's not just like naturally occurring sugar like you would see in fruit or something like that. So when I look at the obviously, seeing sugar listed in the ingredients could be something to be thinking about, but I know for us it's not realistic to completely cut sugar. So I try to look for single digit grams per serving. So 9 grams or less. If you can get down to 0, 1, 2, things like that, that's even better. But I try to check that, against for like per serving. And that's sort of the rule of thumb I try to follow with sugar. And then the last thing that I tend to look for often, if we're getting things like, like something that's like a box good or a canned good or something like that, or even things that are frozen, they can really be filled with sodium. And while we need some sodium, we obviously have to be careful about how much we're taking in as well. And so what I try to look for there is I look at the percentage. Okay, I don't look at the milligrams are usually what are listed. I look at the percentage for the daily value per serving, and I try to stick to a single digit percentage there. Again, it's not always realistic. There are a couple of things in our cabinet that might exceed that a bit, but again, more or less, if you can kind of follow these basic rules as a guideline, it's probably going to help you a little bit to just become more aware of what it is you're buying and how you can more carefully consider things like the ingredients, the sugar content, and the sodium content. So I hope that is helpful, and I hope that you guys are having a great day.